This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto and I'm a photographer. And in this video I'm going to share some of my unused camera features. Features that I almost never use. And the reason I started thinking about these features were the two new Micro Four Thirds cameras that were announced in this February 2022. And when I was looking at the specifications of those cameras, I thought how easy it is to get excited about all those new features and specifications. Of course, sometimes the specifications can be a disappointment, but that would be a topic for another video. And I'm not even talking about those two cameras in this video, but those two cameras got me thinking about this topic in this video. And when I started thinking about my unused camera features, I realized that there are quite a lot of those. And I'm not saying that these features are useless for everyone, but it looks like they are pretty much useless in my photography. And I guess I am a little bit old school in my photography. However, this is only my experience, and as a matter of fact, I'd like you to share your unused features in the comments down below if you have any such features. Some of my unused camera features, or actually all of those features, they look really awesome on paper and they are really cool features, and I have made videos about almost all of them, but I have never really used them beyond some experimenting. The only time I actually use any of these features on this list that I'm going to share in just a moment is if I need to demonstrate something in these videos on this channel. And here it is, the list of my unused camera features in no particular order. But before I go into that, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community, and they have classes for everyone who wants to learn new skills or improve their existing skills. I like cooking a lot, and the latest class I watched was the Ultimate Korean Cooking class by Johnny Rao. Johnny shared some simple, no fuss and delicious Korean recipes. But there are classes for everyone on Skillshare, from gardening to cooking to photography and everything in between. And I'm pretty sure you too have some new skills you'd like to learn or some existing skills that you'd like to improve. So please click the link down below. The first 1,000 of you to do that will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare and start learning new things right away. So here it is, my list of unused camera features in no particular order. The first one is double exposure. Back in the film days, before Photoshop, I made double exposures all the time in the studio, because double exposure was a handy way to create something that was otherwise impossible to do. But in the digital age and in my personal photography, I just don't find any use for in-camera double exposure feature. The next one is live comp, which I think is a really super cool feature. But in my photography, I don't do much long exposure photography, so I don't find live comp that useful for me in my photography. But I'm sure many of you are enjoying live comp long exposure photography a lot. The next one is the high resolution mode on Olympus and Panasonic cameras. It is a really cool feature, but I find it a little bit problematic in real life photography, because I would have to have a specific purpose, specific use for a certain picture to make that high resolution mode practical or useful. And in my personal photography, usually the native pixel count of my cameras is plenty enough. And on paid assignments, I would have to be 100% sure that the subject matter is suitable for the high resolution mode. And by that I mean the limitations of the high res mode. It's not suitable for freezing action, and it has also some other limitations. So even though it's a really cool feature and it looks awesome on paper, 50 or 100 or 200 megapixels, but still in real life photography, I find that it's not that practical after all. And the next one is high-speed continuous shooting mode. I mean 10 frames per second, 20, 50 or whatever frames per second. I'm a one-shot guy and I most of the time, 99.9% of the time, I'm on single-shot mode and I'm happy with that. I only use continuous shooting mode if I need to demonstrate something in some of my YouTube videos. But I know that there are many photographers who really need those high-speed shooting modes, but I'm just not one of those. The next unused feature is in-camera RAW developer, which sounds like a cool feature, but why would I process my RAW pictures in camera? The only reason I can think of is that I want to share my pictures right away, but I almost never do that. So I can't really find any use for in-camera RAW developer. The next one is exposure bracketing, which I never use. I sometimes take two different exposures, but in those very rare cases I just manually change the exposure and take another picture, and that's it. But I never use the built-in bracketing feature on any of my cameras. And the last unused feature on my list is focus stacking. And that is a super useful feature if you are into macro photography. But I don't do that kind of photography and I never use focus stacking. So there you have it, my long list of unused features. And like I said earlier in this video, I'm not saying that these features are useless for everyone. This is just my experience. And please do share your unused features in the comments down below if you have any. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.